Right, am I live now? I pressed the button, so I'm not sure. Can you double check for me? Let me get the microphone. Oops, turning everything around. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Nabs? Nabs? I'm going live now, yeah? Okay, BlaXit family. BlaXit family, BlaXit family. Thank you for joining me here, 21st day of December. Welcome. Welcome to BlaXit. Thank you for joining us. I do know that at this time there's a lot of people that are busy enjoying them, well, getting ready for the holiday season. Some people are jetting to warmer climes. Some people are preparing to spend time with their family. And some people are observing religious holidays. Greetings. Who's that, Babakar? Hello, Babakar. Greetings from Amsterdam. Wow. Is it cold there at the moment? What's the weather like? Do tell me. Do share. And hello to Minding Your Own Business. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're so lovely. And thank you for the compliment. Thank you for saying I'm beautiful. I do appreciate it. So welcome. I'm Nyancho Kajabi, if you don't know. And I'm the host, and I'm also the CEO and also the founder of BlaXit. Other people know me by my given birth name by my mother, which is Juliet. So welcome to Camilo as well, 75. Greetings to you, saying hello to you. So thank you, Babakar, as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday. I so appreciate your time. It's cold, yeah? 10 degrees. Well, it's beautiful here. Not rubbing it in. Hurry up and come home, bruv. Hurry up and come home, okay? So, oh, thank you, Babakar, saying I'm looking good. Oh, thank you for the compliments. I feel better than last week. I must admit, last week I was in dire pain. I'm feeling a lot better. So, how are you, Homeowner Society 25? As someone who is more than likely wealthier than you, just as my observation, I'm always here for you. You want advice? Also, please have, thank you. Someone who is more than likely wealthier than you, just my observation. I don't understand what you mean by that. Wealth in what way? You see, I see wealth not just in terms of finances. I see wealth in terms of love, health, abundance, but most of all, my most important wealth is actually peace of mind. So how would you know if you have more peace of mind than me? But if I would like any advice or any help, you can always get in contact with me. Yeah, if you would like to. The text line is +220 240 5273 with any questions about repatriation. Okay, so if you want to get in contact with me about repatriation, even if you're an expat and you're looking to come home, please do still get in contact with me. That's that's on WhatsApp, +220 240 5273. And just to let you know, I don't celebrate Christmas. I stopped celebrating Christmas many years ago. And I stopped celebrating because of, dumb versus. If you don't know about what dumb versus is, go and research dumb versus, okay? From 1452. A Pope, I'm sure I've covered this on BlaXit. The Pope, I think it was Pope John V. Okay, go and cover why I don't celebrate Christmas and why I don't participate in that holiday. And the reason being, I do celebrate Kwanzaa, which was created in 1966 by Dr. Malana Karenga, which is a different type of festival. It was created in America and was there to give people an alternative, if you like, celebration. It's non-religious, but it is a celebration of, if you like, the fruits of the festival. Kind of, that's what Kwanzaa means, and it's a great celebration, and it envelops and it encourages us to have like Nia, which is faith. It also encourages us to also engage in self-determination, which is very good. Each day has a meaning, so that's the reason why I like it. It starts on December 26th to January 1st, and it has many symbolic meanings to it, which also ingratiated us to being in Africa. Now that I'm actually in Africa, I think my celebrations have taken on a different turn, because of the fact that I'm actually here on the motherland. So I'm actually here broadcasting from the Gambia, and I've been coming to Gambia for, it will be 15 years, 2026. So yeah, I would have been, oh, thank you, my darling, my sweetness, my sugar. Let me just say thank you to our moderator, Kafre, who's moderating today. So everybody say hi to Kafre. Also, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping before we get into today's live. Just to let you know that BlaXit, okay, BlaXit is all about your exit from the West back to the best, and that's Africa. I've been coming to Africa for over 30 years. Let me just say that. The first time I came to Africa was when I was actually 22 years old, and loved it, okay, got addicted. So I knew that Africa would become my home, without a doubt, you know. And so I've been living here permanently for almost 7 years. February will make 7 years, and I absolutely love it and wish I'd done it sooner. That's my only regret. Let me say hello to some of you that are there that I've missed. Hi, Simone. How are you? She said hi, Kafre. Okay, thank you, Jazzy there as well. Greetings, Kafre. Thank you as well. Oh, big shout out to minding my own black business. Yeah, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, and of course, Jazzy, something in the Gambia 721. Greetings, Niancho. Greetings to you, Jazzy. How are you? Yeah. And hello, Simone. Big love to you, Simone. I'm feeling a bit better now, so I'll rearrange our appointment. All right. And Babaka, thank you always for being here. But listen, at the moment, Gambia is absolutely beautiful. The weather is fantastic, and we are officially in dry season. So the evenings tend to be a little bit more chilly. So the temperature is a bit cooler. So if you see me wearing slightly warmer clothing, that is because the temperature has dropped. I haven't even got a fan on, come to think about it. In fact, Kath, I ought to probably use my fan, because, you know, I always get hot and excited when I'm on BlaXit. It's like coming up for air. So I love the fact that you've joined me. Love the fact that you're here. And last week we were talking about setting our New Year's revolutions. We changed resolutions to revolutions. And I just had to say, it was like I was so inspired. I was sick. Believe me, I was not feeling well. And even in my dressing gown, I came because I had to speak to you. I had to tell you, you know, that we have to change these resolutions into revolutions. We have to change the way in which we're thinking. We need to have a mind revolution, not just for us, but for others. Also, I want to say that I did get some phone calls from a lot of people who seem to have this COVID variant, okay? And I did warn you about this. And I said to you at the end of 2025 to 2026, I warned you. And I told you, so listen, I just want to give a little bit of advice about this. I would love for everybody to start making sure that they take their vitamin C, they up their vegetable intake. Make sure you make your vegetable and your fruit smoothies, okay? Very important, okay? Please ensure that you have your fresh fruit and vegetables, and keep your immune system high at this time, because people are getting very, very sick from this so-called variant of the vid. Okay, so I want you to really take notice of this, and start to build your immune system so you are not afflicted by it. Can I also ask you to do something very special for me? Can you please subscribe to BlaXit if you haven't already? Please hit that red, the notification bell, so that you always know when we're going live. We have even been recording with suitable studios recently, so you will be seeing new content on the main channel. I do apologize for the slight lag in content. It was because our production company were not available to us. They were not working at the time, so that's who we work with. So I'm very loyal, and I waited, and so he's back. So thank you and welcome back to you, African Boyo. Who's this? One love to you too. One love to you too. Yeah, I am feeling better. I am feeling better. And one of the things that I wanted to answer was a few questions that were I didn't answer them last week. And so I will be answering them this week. Remember that you can always text line me questions, and I will answer them here on the live. That's why I do the live, so that you can send me questions, and then I'll be more interactive with you answering those questions. It's very important that you have a conduit to answering any questions about reparations, or about repatriation, about relocation, about my experiences even living here in Africa. One of the questions that was asked of me is quite an interesting question, which was about the changes that I've seen since living here. Have there been many changes? Yes, there have. Yes, there has. There have been a lot of development since I came here to live. There's been a lot of construction, a lot more facilities, shopping malls, more things to do as well. So those things have increased. I think tourism has increased, and there's been a lot more international intervention and conferences and so on here. So I think there's been a lot of scope for development. There's been a lot of Gambians which have been returning back to the Gambia, which has been excellent. And so with that, bring in also their own ideas and their own developments. Yesterday, I was at an eatery, and the gentleman who owned the eatery was a Gambian who had lived in America for quite some time. And he's come back and opened a lovely restaurant, which I will be covering the opening of. I may be there, I might not be there. I might send the production team to be there to cover the opening event. And so it's, I don't want to tell you too much, but he said to me he was so happy to be home. He was so happy to be home. He shared with me about the fact that he really had a really interesting experience in America, and that experience really shaped his mindset to realize and value what he has being home. And so in saying that, I'd like to say hello to John. Hello to John. It was a very interesting conversation, and I will be covering your restaurant to give it more exposure. I also, while I was out, also saw Angel, who I haven't seen for a long time, who has her own channel, and she also has an eatery out here called MO2, which does Caribbean and Gambian fusion food. So she's had her business for quite some time now, and so she was out there. So I just want to say a quick hello to those people that I just happened to bump into. I also bumped into Kenny from the Arrivals. This is all in one day. So hello to Kenny from the Arrivals. If you used to watch the Arrivals on YouTube, they are well, they are doing great. And I saw Kenny, who's looking fantastic. And I saw them yesterday. So there you have it. A lot of people who have repatriated, got their businesses here and are doing well. So I just want to share that with you, that's one of the things that I've seen as a great expansion in business, great expansion in commerce, great expansion in construction, great expansion in new schools, great expansion in new medical centers, great expansion in new roads, new facilities. So there's been a great expansion in things since I've been living here. One of the things that I'm setting for my revolution for next year is to learn a language and be fluent. That is one of my targets. Definitely. Definitely for next year is to be fluent in, and I've chosen Wolof. So I'm sorry, yeah? Balama, sorry to all of the Mandinka speakers that I've been practicing on. I've finally chosen Mandinka. I've finally chosen Wolof because I just found it a bit easier. Okay, but forgive me. Okay, to all my Mandinka brothers and sisters, and to all my Jola brothers and sisters, and to all my Fulani brothers and sisters, I've chosen Wolof as the language to become fluent in. So, why is it important to learn a language? Here was another question. So listen, when you're going for your citizenship, part of the citizenship is a language. Well, it's not such much a language test, but it's a conversation. And the conversation has to be in a local language. So it's always good to learn the language anyway, wherever you go, so you can understand what people are saying. Okay? I want you to... let me just, sorry, I'm missing some of your comments. So let me go back. Hi, Simo. Yeah, and hi, M721. How are you? Okay. Yeah. Shout out to you and the big family. Thank you so much, minding my own black business. Okay. Thank you so much. And 25901 Solar. Christmas is not ours to celebrate. I'm an African religion practitioner, and we believe in the Almighty Creator via His Orishas. Africa has spirituality, and we don't need foreign religions. Come in, tell me more. Yeah, come in, tell me more. Let me tell you something, right? I'm going to share this book with you. I hope you can see it. I hope it's not backwards, but it's called Of Water and the Spirit. I don't know if you've seen it, by Malidoma Patrice Sume. And it's funny that you should say that. It's so funny that you should say that, because there's a section in the book. Has anyone seen this book? It used to be a bestseller, Of Water and the Spirit, I wanted this to be made I will tell you a story, actually. I wanted this to be made into a film, and I wanted it to be a worldwide bestseller. And I approached a very well-known, very famous director, because I was on the set of a film. Now, that's another long story, but I'll share that with you another time. A film that was being made, a very famous film. And I was there on the set with the production company. I was there with my son. At the time, it was we were a family. So I was on the set in Pinewood Studios in England. And I must admit, they were very nice. They put us up in a lovely hotel, in central Lancaster Hotel in central London, and took us out for lovely meals in Mayfair and everything like this. And then on the set as well, we had a lovely time and met a lot of the stars from the film. Anyway, Basically, while I was there, another great director that I have met, whose name I will mention, is Forrest Whitaker. I absolutely love Forrest Whitaker. I've met quite a few, actually, I must confess. I've been very fortunate to meet a lot of people. If you don't know, I used to work in media. And as such, I was very fortunate to meet a lot of people, movers and shakers in this world. And so that's why you've seen a lot of pictures with me of lots of famous people. So that's the reason why. Okay, the best part of waking up. Being in Africa is the best part of waking up for me. Waking up in Gambia makes my day. I've seen the question and answer. Yeah. Okay, the best part is seeing the blue skies, hearing the birds, and knowing that I'm free. Knowing that I'm free, I'm not going to walk outside my door and I'm not going to see, any Neanderthals. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. And so that alone makes me happy. That makes me smile, just knowing that the first face I'm going to see is one that looks like me. And that I've got fresh air, I've got beautiful birds singing, I can pick fruit off the tree, I can have fresh and clean water, I can create my own destiny, create my own day, I can create my own life. That's important to me. Oh, in saying that, I just remembered that I announced the land sale. So the end of year land sale is going. So I've done it a little bit differently this year. It's 25% off, okay? 25% off of our estate in Naneto Sion. So we're giving 25% off of our land in Naneto Sion. So that can either be done as the whole piece of land or plot by plot. But there's 25% off, okay? So off of the actual price. So that is quite amazing, okay? So that's what they've done. And I haven't got the flyer in front of me. And I know it was sent to get an e-flyer made, but I don't think it's been made yet. But the information was on there. So I don't want to say wrong figures and stuff like that. So I'll wait till I get it, and then I'll put it on the community page for you. So I was talking about this book, okay? And in this book, 501, right? Asola, listen. In this book, he was talking about his father, okay? I'm just getting probably spoiler alert if you haven't read this book. It is an amazing book, and I actually was fortunate enough to meet the author. The story that I was telling you is that this director, I sent this director and his co-director a copy of this book, and I said, this book has to be made into a film. I also approached Ghost Dance, Forrest Whitaker, right? And I said, listen, I've read this most amazing book and it has to be made into a film. Now, if you are out there and you know any other directors that could do this project, please make this book into a film of Water and the Spirit by Malidoma Patrice Sume. Please make this book into a film. It is something that our children have to know about. And it's a story of Malidoma. It's about his vision. It's about his initiation. It's about his life. And it's really important, and it encompasses so much important information that we need to know and share, especially about our African spirituality. Very, very important, because often enough, they've tried to do a lot. I might as well talk about this, okay? They've tried to do a lot, because one of the questions that someone sent me is that am I not afraid of they called it let's just call it baneful magic. I'm living in Africa, am I not afraid? Like, oh, please. And then someone, right, I'll call him L, you know who you are, sent me something, and it was a song, and in the song it talks about what we need to be afraid of is poverty and ignorance. Yeah, those are the real enemies. That's what we need to be afraid of. So thank you, Elle, for sending me that song. You know, it's a very good song and I listened to it. But this has to be made into a film. So if you're a filmmaker or a director out this, make your film debut with this book. I have approached the wealthy, the rich, the famous. I have approached so many people to make this film. And so I'm putting out there, please do make this book into a film. So I was fortunate enough to meet him probably about 24 years ago now. In England for the first time. I think it was about 24 years ago. And then I was lucky enough to meet him again in 2016. I was saying to him that I'm approaching everybody to try and make your book into a film, and I was liaising with him and so on with Malidoma Patrice Sume. But he did actually do a divination for me. Yes, he did. And in the divination that he did for me, what I can tell publicly is that one of the things he said is that my purpose is to be of service to my community and to lead you back home. And would you believe that? This is exactly what I'm doing. This is exactly what I'm doing. No one could have predicted that I would have met. Look at me, I'm drinking a hot drink and a cold drink at the same time. Right? No one could have predicted that I would have met Wodamaya and had that prolific interview where I said that England is a dump and Africa is paradise. I could never have predicted that. I could never have predicted BlaXit being what BlaXit is today. Even though we faced so many challenges, we're still here. How amazing is that? And so I can only give thanks to, and to me, I always had an issue with the concept because since I've been learning a lot about African spirituality, reading books like this and so on, it's always been the duality of the male and the female aspect of, divinity, of your divine parents, of your, if you like, your superior creators. And then also in Orishas, you also have female and male Orishas, which to me is more of a balance. I saw thief. What's this, Gaff? Caffrey, do I need to look down? Shells are in my hair. People always ask me this. Why do people always ask me this? And I've always, you know what? There's a book I've got over there. I should show you. Yeah, of the importance of the cowrie shell and the meaning to us. It's very, very important. And in fact, you should also wear them. Okay, you should also wear them. Wear your cowrie shells. It's very, very important. So, sorry, I just pressed the wrong thing. So I was saying that in here there's a story, and I'm just going to tell you briefly. So Malidoma's father was married for the first time to, this is before Malidoma was born, was married to his first wife. For example, let's call her Edith. I can't remember her actual name. Excuse me. He was married, and he had his first set of girls, which were twins, two twin girls, and he had a son. I think the son was called Daniel. I think I remember the boy's name. And the girl, I think one was called Marguerite and one was called Elizabeth. But I can't remember the mum's name for the life of me. I'll just call it Edith for now. Okay, and let's call Malidoma's dad Frank, for example, but it wasn't his name. Yeah, okay. So anyway, basically the father of Malidoma's dad told him, which is Malidoma's grandfather, listen, we are Dagara and we need to follow Dagara traditions. We need to follow what the Dagara do. Now, his grandfather, Malidoma's dad's grandfather, died young, okay? So he wasn't able to learn from his grandfather in the same way that Malidoma was able to learn from his grandfather. So he went into the armed forces, and his dad went to the Ivory Coast and traveled a lot and then came back. So his grandfather said, listen, you still need to adhere to our culture and traditions, okay? It's very important with regard to initiation. It's very important with regard to customs. Now, there's a custom when you have twins, you're supposed to, there's a special water, what they call from the underground world, and you put the pot of water and you bury it at the front of the house. It's a tradition that's supposed to be followed. And the father warned him, if you don't follow these traditions, it doesn't create the relationship between us, our ancestors, and our supreme creators, divine parents, most high, God, whatever you want to call it, say, okay? And so the dad had started to follow Catholicism and had become a Catholic because of the colonizers. So the colonizers had come and corrupted the father's mind, if you like, and told the father that, you need to follow our way, and that the way of the traditions is devil worship. The way of the traditions is paganism. The way of the worship, and I mean, this is, if you look at the Discovery Act, or the Land Discovery Act that goes with Dim Diversus, you will understand the concept, because that's exactly what they did when they used it in order for them to sign off the PayPal for the PayPal's signature of the Pope. How many times in order to go and to enslave Africans? So it's the same thing. Okay, so he now became entranced by the white priest, and the white priest encouraged Maladoma's dad to follow him as opposed to following tradition. Now, because the children started to grow up, he decides that, oh, the priest is right, but oh, how wrong he was. So the first twin, Elizabeth, got some mysterious illness. Remember, he did not follow any of the rites that he was supposed to follow, that were laid out by his ancestors. And remember, part of initiation is to what guides you into being a man. That's why we have so many, I'm sorry to say, but really immature men and immature women out there that are like children in men's bodies, children in women's bodies, where they're not emotionally balanced, not emotionally mature, and not emotionally developed at all, and certainly not emotionally mature. And I think a part of this is because we've skipped out on some of our cultural methodology in terms of allowing us to understand responsibility. So that's why men are running away from responsibility, women are running away from responsibility, leaving their children, living reckless lives, living sexually deviant lives, is because we haven't got the ground, we don't have the grounding, we don't have the teachings that we're supposed to have had, that are supposed to have been handed down to us. So anyway, so the father ignored the teachings of the father, who's telling him, you must carry out these rituals, you must carry these things out. So what happens is the first twin, Elizabeth, she gets a mysterious illness. This is all in the book, you can read it. I think it's about page 35, 30 to 35. You can read it for yourself if you got the book, okay? And she develops a mysterious illness. If you want, I can read it to you. If you want me to read it, say so, okay? So she develops a mysterious illness, and she unfortunately passes away. And then her twin, during the funeral, becomes hysterical. She becomes hysterical, and then she passes away. Okay? Then, after a while, the older brother passes away, and then the wife passes away. And why? Because the father neglected. He eventually posthumously did the ritual, and then he was able to have another wife and another family, who fortunately lived to tell the tale, because Maladoma is one of those children. Now, I could read it, actually. I could read a small section on it, I guess. The writing's very small, actually. I haven't got my glasses. But it's here. It's a good segment. It's a good story. It's a good segment which really talks about how important it is for us to remember who we are, and for us to remember and get realigned with our traditions. Now, I am not, turn around and dogging anyone's religion, not by any form, means, or shape or form. But what I am saying is that we also should not deny, and we should not belittle, and we should certainly not default and come away from our own traditions. And we shouldn't allow anybody to try and denigrate our own spirituality and our own religions, okay, and our own ways of life and our own cultures, trying to make theirs out to be superior. Because I can never worship a white God. I'm just telling you this now. I could never worship no white Jesus. I'm just not down for that program. It does not work for me. I can't see it. I can't feel it. I can't taste it. I can't touch it. And when I say that, I'm talking in my essence. It just doesn't feel right to me. When I see the picture of the white Jesus, it does not look like anything that I could worship in this lifetime. It just is not. In fact, the first time I saw the picture, it frightened the life out of me. The first time I saw an effigy, it frightened the life out of me. It did not feel right. And it's got nothing to do with any devilment. It's just to do with, if I saw a black person and a white person, I would feel more comfortable with a black person than I would a white person. That's just the reality. That is just the truth. So I am not going to look at this person as my God, as my savior, as my worship. And I certainly need balance. There has to be a divine mother and a divine father for me. I can't just worship a man. There's, that's more like I'm not sure where that's leading to, where everything's just got to be male, because, there's no man that was not born out of a woman. So tell me, any man that's not born out of a woman, and you do understand what I'm saying, okay? I cannot feel that. And so, no, I did not subscribe to no blue-eyed, blonde-haired Jesus. I cannot and I will not. I just can't. I can't do it, okay? So I'm not dissing anyone. This is just my own personal opinion. So if you're telling me that the God in the sky in the pearly gates is a white man sitting on a throne is going to judge me, I don't buy it. Okay, don't buy it, didn't buy it, can't fry it, and I've got no fear. They tell me about fear of God. No, I don't have that fear. And I think fear has done enough to destroy us and our community enough as it is. I'm not buying into their fear-mongering BS. I have to deal with the consequences of my own actions. I have to deal with the consequences of what I do. I have to be responsible. I have to be accountable. I can't go and blame this or blame that. I have to look at my actions and I have to try and fix them. Okay? So that is just my thoughts. I'll go through your comments. What kind of question? Okay. Promote the fix in 2026. It's a revolution. Yes, 2026. I said it. I told you, you throw out the New Year's resolutions. It's time to put in the New Year's revolutions. That's what we were talking about last week. Okay. Yeah, remember your natural herbs as well. Very, very important. Did I not mention that? I'm sorry if I didn't. So yeah, definitely, don't forget your herbs, your herb tea. Do you know what I mean? Drink it. Even if it's bitter. Bitter like what? Drink it is good for you. Drink the Sarasi. Drink your rosemary tea. Drink your thyme tea. Drink your herbs, drink your lemon tea, like I was talking about last week. Drink your turmeric. You understand? Those roots are good for us. Even it was herbs that helped me. That's why I'm even back on my feet right now. It's herbs. I've been following you since the very start, even before Woden my interview. I will always be on your side. Is that Camilla? Camilla 203 I see 75 at the end because they're going quick. Okay, thank you so much, Camilla. Yeah, And I'm there with you too, Queen. Yeah. Remember, we are divine, okay? I got to keep telling you this because I need for you to understand 2026. I need for you to grab your divinity and remember who you are. Grab your divinity. Remember who you are. You know, one of the things I love about being in Africa, I am not being completely and totally beat down with all of this Christmas rhetoric. I don't have it. I'm not surrounded by it. And I am so grateful that I am not pressured by it, commercially pressured by it, media pressured by it, work pressured by it. I can sidestep it easy. Sidestep it easy being out here. Thank goodness. Okay? Thank goodness. So I want to say hi to Africa 7458. I want to say hi to in Africa 7458. And thank you for the Jamaican flag. Yeah, I hope everybody's doing okay there in Jamaica. Melissa, mash up the place. Yeah. So anybody who wants to donate, I do have the details of a GoFundMe from Linda. So you can get in contact with me if you would like to donate to that GoFundMe. Yeah. Waking up in Gambia is amazing. Do you know what I love, right? Is that some birds and so many different birds come to your window of all different colors. You have blue jays, you have weaver birds, you have, you know what we call hummingbirds, they call it sunbirds. Yeah, you have sunbirds, you have so many different birds, all with their songs. I'm telling you, it's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, you can just squeeze up your juice in the morning and drink it. Okay. So just said the path was already set. Yeah, the path was already set. Yeah, by the Almighties. Okay. So the shells hold energy. Well, hey, now we're talking. Woo! Now we're talking. Tell me more. Tell me more. Also, tell me about the currencies of the shell, and also tell me about the connection to your moja. Tell me about the connection to your moja. Okay, and the shells. Tell me about the connection to Mami Wata and the shells. Okay, so let's look at, is that Zara? Zara says that's what happens when you exchange your roots for Babylon. Zara, I love you. Zara, you're funny. Yeah, Zara. You know, but this is what happened. And he had to follow the traditional route. I mean, it's in the book. You can read the book. But please, if you are going to buy any gifts this season, this Kwanzaa, do go ahead. Kath, could you mind passing open? Oh, she's cleaning the windows. That's why she's closed them. Kath, could you pass a fan for me? Because she's closed the windows. Mm-hmm. She's cleaning the windows, so she closed the windows, and it's getting a bit stuffy now. Pass what? The fan for me, the grey one. So please buy this book, or wherever you want to buy it. I think there's Kush Books, which is a black ebook platform. There's actually quite a few books that I'd like to promote. Maybe I'll promote in the new year. Okay. So if you've got a book that you've written that you would like me to promote, please let me know. Okay. So yeah, they weren't protected. Well, the thing is, the grandfather told him this. Yeah. He refused to allow the grandfather to protect them. He went down. Thank you, sweetheart. He went down the.
Don't move this, okay?
No, okay. He went down the route. These little portable fans are so handy. He went down the route of following Catholicism. So he went and got them christened, and completely went away from the tradition. And no matter what the father said, he wouldn't. Follow that. He wouldn't go back to his tradition because he got brainwashed. You know, And if you follow Dim Versus, right? I wish I had written it down. If you follow Dim Versus 1452, right, Pope the Fifth, do look at the papals. Do look at what he. When I say papals, it's a PayPal, yeah, PayPal, because people say I think I'm saying PayPal. No, PayPal. The papals are written decrees, okay, and which also went alongside with the Discovery Act, which enabled them to come and to take any land that they come across and discovered it and said that this now belongs to the church. And so part of that diverses is that also were the people. So that is where they said that Saracens and pagans, are now the property of the church. Henceforth, slavery. And it was with the Portuguese king that this happened. I will tell you the history of it. Maybe next week we will, post hence the seasonal, we will talk about it, because it's important that you understand that during the time of the enslavement, the kidnapping, the war on our ancestors, that they were actually keeping Sunday service while they had us in dungeons underneath the churches. And if you go to most of the places, I remember when I went to Bunce Island in Sierra Leone, and I saw Professor Olagusa, sorry, and he was there as well. And it's the same thing. They have us enslaved, and then they have their churches of worship. I mean, it's sickening to me. Do you know what I mean? How can you say that you do such evil to people while you're saying you're doing this in the name of God? The two don't add up to me. The two just aren't sensing to me. The two just aren't making sense. You're killing people while you're singing and praising. You're sacrificing human lives. I don't get it. I don't agree with it. You understand? So anyway, in answer to that person's question to me, yeah, no, I've got no fear. Why should I? Yeah. So just said they weren't protected. I think I read that one. Okay, Derek, I used to follow a lot during COVID. Glad to see that you're still there. Oh, lovely. Yeah, that was 2020. Oh my gosh, we're in 2025. Where you been? What you been doing? Share, Derek, share. Yeah, share. So I agree. I can't identify with a white, blue-eyed Jesus. I just can't. I just don't identify. I don't know how many of you do really in this chat really do identify with the blue-eyed, blonde-haired Jesus, that might have been hanging on the wall in your grandma's house or what have you. We didn't have it in our house, actually. We didn't, my father was a Pan-Africanist, thank goodness. So I was really safe from it. But, lots of old aunties and, sorry, the fan's too high. Lots of aunties and my grandma and so on, were addicted into this cult, as I call it. And, we're worshipping this blonde-haired, blue-eyed figure. And it just didn't feel right to me. It just didn't. It felt at odds to me. It did. So, Kelly, I like you. And I'm hard to find? No, I'm not. I'm here every Sunday. Oh, it said that he doesn't do Christmas. Oh, he did no Christmas shopping. No, of course not. No, don't. No, none at all. Nothing at all. And my children are very used to this. They're very, very used to it because it's been happening for so long. I mean, we're going on. I started celebrating Kwanzaa, I think, 18 years ago. But before that, I didn't celebrate Christmas either. So I would go to family events. Don't get me wrong. But me personally, no, I'm not one to go to church to go and, celebrate blonde-haired baby. So no, sorry. I have been to church here though, I'll say that. And when I went, it was a black Jesus actually that was on the wall that I saw. And that did make me smile, I must confess. Okay. He said he's not participating. Okay. So anyway, I don't want to keep you too long, so I'm sure you've got lots of things to do on your Sunday. But I will say, I will just quickly answer the three questions that I was asked regarding repatriation and reparations before I go. Um, Dad's Rasta, Mum Christian, but we attended church and an African preacher. Very interesting childhood. Yeah, do you know what? They went to a Pentecostal church as well. My family. My mum's like born again, but she didn't really go. My grandma did, and we were kind of forced to go, but I didn't like it. So I was a little bit spoiled, I think, as a child. So because I didn't like it, I was able to sit at home and listen to Count Basie and play reggae music. Play old school Studio One records with my dad and dance around the house while, starting dinner and stuff for my mom. So she did go to church, which she very rarely went. So yeah, I always remember Sundays as the days of music. The days of reggae music, the day of Bob Marley, the day of listening to Marcus Garvey speeches, the days of rice and peas. I don't know how, your Sundays went. And, my parents would make, we would call it Guinness punch, and we would have strawberry milkshake from the strawberries in the garden when it was summertime. And yeah, I had an interesting childhood. I got whooped too. Yeah, so hang on. I think many of us did, and I think that is a remnant from slavery. I think that's a remnant from slavery. When the world opened up after COVID, I went back to work, and honestly, I've been distracted. Maybe that was the plan, to keep us distracted. Absolutely, absolutely. But you're back now, and welcome back, Derek. Thank you for coming back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I appreciate your input. I really do. Thank you to everybody that's commented today. Terra Texicana. So when I had when I put Jesus, I tucked the white poster I had for many years into the bin. Yes, 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 absolutely. Nice. I had options too. Yeah, exactly. Because for me, it just didn't represent me. And I was very fortunate that my nan on my dad's side, she went to a Nigerian Celestine church, which was different, very different. And it was almost like the practice of Ifa. And I love that. And I love going there. I like the drumming. I liked, wearing the white. That was fun. And the food afterwards was amazing. Some of the Nigerian dishes are amazing. I love Nigerian food. In fact, I love African food. But yeah, so anyway, one of the questions that I was asked was, where's my book? Sorry about this, I got distracted. Was that I said about last week. I said last week about buying black, trying to buy African. I talked about accepting yourself as an African and giving yourself an African name. I talked about, so claiming your Africanness. I talked about finding out who you are if you're not sure, going and doing your African DNA. And I said that we have to make plans to leave the debt trap. Okay, we have to make plans to leave the debt trap, because that is what it is. Okay, that is exactly what it is. Okay, and I also talked about us having a mind revolution. Okay, and I talked about us having trust and starting to do partner. I don't know what you call it in America. Okay, in Jamaica we called it partner, which is where you throw your hand. Everybody throws a hand, which is money each week. and then one person can pull out. I don't know what you call it, but we had those kinds of systems. We used to jointly buy property, jointly live in properties. We had tenement yard and those kinds of things. Yeah. And debt is slavery, but hidden with material things. Who said that? Derek. Derek, I missed you. Absolutely, absolutely. Derek, was that 1181, something like that? I haven't got my glasses on. I'm just writing. It's getting smaller and smaller. I don't know why they've done that. And yeah, I have found my peace. I remember you telling your story, and love, and you found your peace in the motherland. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I have, and you know, I value my peace over everything else. I really do. I really do. I remember, right? I'm going to let you into a personal story. You know, I don't usually talk about personal things, but I'm going to let you into a personal story. I was going through some challenges in my previous marriage, and I was given an ultimatum. I had to choose between BlaXit and my marriage, which was a very, very hard decision that I had to make. And of course, you know, the obvious choice. I made that decision. I was basically got up one morning, was told that he wanted a divorce and separation. He wanted a divorce and separation. And during this time of separation, he wanted to reconcile and gave me an ultimatum. But of course, I chose BlaXit. Now, why? Yeah, people can ask me why. Why would you do that? Firstly, I wasn't happy. So it was an easy choice. Secondly, because BlaXit is about our mission. BlaXit is a divine mission in my opinion. It's a purpose. It was one that was, you know, given to me, one that is divine to me, one that I have to follow no matter what. I have to do it. Because Africa is the promised land. Africa is the promised land. It really is. And you have to find your way back. You know, they've got us tied up in a net of confusion and chaos. And the only way back is to find your peace. It is to try and get out of their chaotic systems. They will put every kind of trap and trickery to keep you stuck there. And so every trap and trickery that they'll use, every kind of tax bondage, if not, then they'll incarcerate you. If not, then they'll medically kill you. But they'll find a way to trap you. Okay? And if they can't do that, then they'll trap you with financial bondage. Okay? And that's the reason why I say you have to make a plan to get out. But we have to work together to do this. We really do. Okay? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I do love my life, I must confess, okay? And I'm not rubbing it in. I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, look at her, she's rubbing it in. Because, of course, I have been a victim of envy and jealousy of the highest order, like I could never have imagined in my life. Ugh, it was terrible. But you know, you live through it. So the person that asked me about what was we covering last week, it was covering about changing our resolutions to revolutions. Okay, and the revolution started with buying black. If you are going to be buying this holiday season, then buy through a black website, black company, black organization, a black corporation. Black production company, black manufacturing, okay, black owned, black run, okay, and I mean that, and I don't mean black married to white. Let me make that very clear. I don't mean black married to white, because when that happens, ultimately it goes back into their coffers. I mean black on black, black with black, or black solo, okay. So when I say black, I'm talking about if you're a black person, you're African, okay? So, second, I talked about owning our Africanness. It's time for us to embrace and have our own African names and our own African identity and identify as African. Now, I have had much a debate where people have said, Juliet, you know, they call me Juliet, not Nyancho, by the way, which annoyed me. But anyway, but Juliet, you know, you're Afro descendant. I said, I'm what? I said, no, I'm not. I'm an African descendant. No, you're Afro descendant because all these people decided so. No, I'm not. I'm an African descendant. There's no O in Africa. And I didn't ask to have it abbreviated. It doesn't need to be abbreviated. African descendant is very easy to say and it rolls off the tongue. Okay, so I'll stick with African descendant. Thank you very much. Okay. So find where you are, find out who you are, find out where you come from, do your DNA test, or ask questions in your family to trace your roots. Because sometimes your family also know the answer to these questions. Okay, because sometimes information was handed down. It was handed down in my family because they weren't so late in the generations to be sold across into slavery. So luckily enough, I was able to find out that my family came from Gambia. Okay, so that takes guts to follow your heart. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And I do say that. And I say goddess as well, because people like to leave out the goddess. I don't know why. Yeah, they love to leave out the divine feminine energy. The divine feminine exists and we must embrace her. Europeans want to believe in this one-sided male, you know, half story. No, we don't. We're Africans. We know that there's goddess and that there's gods, okay? We know that there is. Why? Because all of our history is there. Go to Egypt and you'll see. Where there's man, there's woman. It's only in certain, I don't know, Europeanized thing where you only see man and man and man and man with man and man and man and man. You get me? Yeah? Okay? So I just saying, don't leave out the goddess. Don't forget the goddess. Okay? There's goddess and there's God. Don't leave out the goddess. We are Africans. Africans are born from man and woman. Yeah? We're not born from man and man. Yeah? In our Trinity, there's man, woman, and child. In our Holy Trinity, there's man, woman, and child. That's the African Trinity. The European Trinity is God, Son, and Holy Spirit. Okay? The African Trinity is man, woman, and child. All right? I'm just letting you know. Because I don't know what kind of doppy baby them I make. Yeah, sorry, that's Jamaican slipping out. Doppy means ghost. Because when they're saying Holy Ghost, what are they really saying? Why isn't the woman there? Yeah, I'm fine. Hey, Willie. How you doing, Willie Rivers? You okay? Yeah, I hope you're well, sweetheart. Yeah? You remember the goddess, to remember the divine feminine energy, the divine masculine energy. They're trying to tear us apart. That's why they're focusing you only on the male. And that's the reason why this world has imbalance, because we've always worked together in tandem and in harmony. You know, I witnessed something recently, which I'll talk about another time, you know, and with what I witnessed, I got to say that I was disgusted. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I was disgusted. I just got to say, listen, yeah, all of you, maybe next year I ought to do something in order to get the divine masculine and divine feminines together. What do you think? What do you think? For 2026, I ought to do some kind of matchmaking service through BlaXit, because it's like there's a division and I don't know what's going on, yeah? Because there's good men out there and there's good women out there, but the good men aren't meeting the good women and the good women ain't meeting the good men. So maybe we ought to do something. Maybe I ought to do maybe we do a BlaXit group or something where, you know, men who know how to appreciate women, who know how to value women, who know how to respect women, who know how to see a woman's worth, who know how to cherish a woman, who know how to nurture a woman, who know how to protect and defend a woman, who knows how to stand by a woman's side, who knows how to appreciate a woman, who knows how to, make life with a woman, who knows how to commit to a woman, a man who's not full of fear, a man who is not sexually deviant, a man who's not promiscuous, yeah, a man who is loyal and faithful, yeah, step forward. Maybe that's what I have to do. Maybe we ought to have the BlaXit link up again, but we do it online. So divine masculine can meet divine feminine. How you feel about that? Maybe for 2026 we switch it up a little bit and we start, putting back together that thing. Because, I was talking to someone yesterday and they were telling me about how much men have come here and they end up getting caught sleeping with the maid and, all kinds of mad stories. You understand? Like, we need to bring back, leave the karmic, toxic men over there, and the divine man and woman start to get together. So the solo men and the solo women, how you feel about that? How do you feel about that? Tell me in the comment section. I'll drink my tea and wait for you, okay? Yeah, that's why I drink the juice to sweeten it. It's natural, so it's all right. How you feel about that? Comment section. How come the comment section's quiet? As soon as I start talking about unity, black love, coming together, everybody's quiet in the comment section. What's going on? So how you feel about that? How about we and not even the views have dropped? Why everyone's running? Everybody's running. What are you running for? You don't want black unity. If we're going to start with black unity, black family, black getting together, because listen, not everybody's equally yoked. Yeah. Not all, people, relationships work forever because, some relationships are toxic. They're karmic. They're full of chaos and conflict because not every man's a good man and not every woman's a good woman. So how you feel? Do you think I should do something like that? Maybe, when you text me, I set up a group, like a BlaXit meetup group, because I used to do BlaXit link up before. I used to do BlaXit link up at Solomon's on the beach, and people used to meet, and greet each other, and some people started relationships and stuff like that. How you think? But, this one is for, let's say high vibrational, high frequency men, not cheaters. I'm not talking about serial cheaters, please. No narcissists, please. We've had enough cheaters. We've had enough narcs, We've had enough abuse, I think both of us. And when I say cheaters, it goes the female way and it goes the male way as well, because they both do the same. Okay, both genders do the same. There's male narcissists and female narcissists, okay? There's male cheaters and female cheaters. What do you think? Nobody now comment. Walk on. Hello, BlaXit family, BlaXit family, BlaXit family. Me, I got to wake you up. Sure, thank you. Finally, yeah. Who's that? Abdullah, big yourself up. At least someone come true with the truth. Yeah? I know a lot of people out there. Michael says, I can come on as a guest. Black love is real. Okay, yes. Okay, I can do BlaXit join, okay? So what I want you to do is to send me a text, okay? Right, you can join as a guest. Send me a text to +220. Can you put it in the comment section for me, please, Mod? +220 240 5273 via WhatsApp, and then I'll be able to add you as a guest next week. Okay, I'll be able to add you as a guest and we can talk about black love being real. Okay, yes, okay, so I'm a divorcee, yeah, but of course I've experienced love before. Okay, of course I've experienced love before, but I'm still unmarried. I'm still unmarried. Okay, no one's put a ring on it. No one's put a ring on it as yet. I don't know what they're scared of. But anyway, you've been married for 15 years or so. You're out of the conversation. Oh, congratulations. That's Black Love. You're in the conversation because you can guide us as to how we can do it. Okay. So you're in the conversation. Maybe you can help give advice. Okay. You can help give advice as to how to keep your relationship strong throughout those years. Yeah, that's very, very important. Yeah. Because one of the things, I will just, break it down. One of the things that happened to me during the breakdown of my marriage is because when you stop nurturing a woman, when you stop taking notice of a woman, and usually that's because you're looking outside, I'm not going to lie. Okay, you take your eye off the ball of what's going inside because you don't think that, who you're with knows that you're cheating, but she does. She does because energies change. And energy is your signature. And, let me tell you, like, energy is like sellotape. I'll just use this as an example. Sellotape is on my desk, okay? Like, every time you stick this sellotape down, right, it loses stick. This is exactly what happens to your energy, especially when you're promiscuous and you're sleeping around. Say this is sticky now, right? Once you stick down, that's one woman. You stick down 2 women, right? Stick down 3 women. Stick down 4 women, stick down 5 women. It's getting less and less sticky. 6 women, 7 women. Now it don't have no stick. It drops. And that's what happens to your energy. Okay? Because you dissipate your energy. And sometimes people have attachments, have negative spiritual energy. Some people have the attachment of poverty. And so when you sleep with them, you notice that everything goes wrong in your life. They have the attachment of bad fortune. They have the attachment, you don't know what they've done in their life. Okay? And so for me, like, I'm a kind of woman that if I feel that you're going outside, you're dibbling dabbling, I've lost interest. And that for me, that's what, if you like, killed my relationship, killed my marriage, because I'm going to be totally faithful to you, totally. But the minute I think you are, then, my body temperature changes. I can't go there. And I think that's the same for many, many women. So that's why disloyalty and unfaithfulness and cheating destroys so many relationships, because sometimes men come here to Africa and they think it's a candy shop. You understand? And so it destroys the marriage. I mean, he remarried, but I haven't, because I think you need time to heal. I think you need time to heal. And I think that's important. Come on as a guest, Derek. Yeah, come on and guide us. Yeah, I don't know how many people I can add, but I know that maybe I'll try and get StreamYard on my phone and then, or on the computer. I'm trying to get, does anyone know where I can get another Apple lead? I'm trying to get another Apple lead for my Apple Mac. It's gone kaput. So I have to get another one. So if you're in Gambia and you know where I can get an Apple Mac lead, let me know. So yeah, I think that it's a great idea. Thank you. Great analogy. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So let's do some Black love and Black unity. Let's do this. Because there's lots of good women out there that are single, waiting for that man. There's so many. I mean, I talked about being celibate. The amount of people that reached out to me said, "Oh, I'm celibate too. I'm celibate too. I'm celibate too." I'm like, wow. There's so many celibate people out here. I mean, that's a good thing, because it's good to keep your energy pure. It really is. It's a good thing to keep your energy pure. And a lot of women are now saying, "No, I'm celibate until I'm getting married. I'm not going out there," because there's too many, men out there that are unfortunately taking advantage of women. They're finessing women. They're using women. They're breadcrumbing women. They're gaslighting women. They're just out there to get what they want. They're not serious. They're jokers. They're immature. They're like little boys in men's body. And they want to jump from woman to woman depending on what they can get. You know what I mean? They just want to drop where the soup drops, as they say. And that's really unhealthy, and it's toxic, and there's no love in that, and lust is dangerous. Lust is so dangerous. Lust can get you killed. Lust can get you killed. And so I think that there's a lot of things that need to change. We have to go back to basics, back to the old school, back to what real love is, and taking time to court each other, taking time to get to know each other, but taking time most of all to understand respect. because I think respect has been lost. You know, I didn't mean to go down this turn, but I will talk about it. You know, I've done one question anyway, so kudos to me. That's what we talked about last week, okay? So that was the mind revolution that we talked about last week in answering that question, to that question you asked me about last week's show. So, yeah, I think that we do need more, you know, revolutionary couples. We need more power couples out there. And we need them to be more visible as well, because a lot of people are shying out of the, you know, the limelight. And I can understand why, because as soon as you put your head above the parapet, you have people out there just waiting to target you, waiting to take you down, waiting with a smear campaign, waiting with defamation, waiting with slander, waiting with libel, waiting with lies, waiting with deceit, you know, waiting with targeted wicked words of untruth, you know, in order to try and destroy you and to take you off of your platform, off of your guard. And I've seen them attack so many people online, and people who are no longer online, no longer broadcasted anymore because they were targeted. They did the same thing to me. I think my lawyer said there was 152 negative videos. And I was like, what? I was shocked. I was shocked that people would take their time out, and people that I don't even know, I've never met before in my life. They got time to waste. But, you know, the fact of the matter, sorry, it tickles me, because I could never imagine myself taking time out to go online, to go and talk about another woman or another man, like continuously, week in, week out, like about rubbish, trying to, you know, destroy their character, because I will be destroying mine at the same time, because you'd see me as a bad mind person. You would see me as a person that don't have, you know, nothing better to do than to bad mind and to bad talk other people, which means what kind of a person am I? You know, and so no, I'm about our upliftment. I'm about our enablement. I'm about our progress. You know, I'm about our black love. I'm about us moving forward. I'm about you coming and finding happiness and some peace. You understand? That's what it's about. It's about us having our fulfillment. Our wish fulfillment. And our wish fulfillment is to be happy. Our wish fulfillment is to be debt free. Our wish fulfillment is to be in a happy, loving, respectful relationship, and to raise our children, you know, with good morals and character and good leadership, good examples, good guidance. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Yeah, thank you so much. Oh, I don't know if there's a lot of me, but, you know, I know that there's some lovely women out there. I do know there's some awful ones too. Don't get me wrong. I've experienced those as well. Very dangerous indeed. I really didn't understand and appreciate how dangerous jealousy and envy was until I came online. And then I really found out. And not just that, but jealousy within my own relationship, within my previous marriage. There was jealousy. I never had understood, you know, the benefit of it. I never understood it, but I had it even through being online. It created a problem. Now, for me, if you're jealous of your own partner's success, you have a problem. You're supposed to be working together in tandem to build together, to grow together, to develop together. That's so important, to share together, and also to raise each other, to help to develop yourself, you know, each other, because all of us are a work in progress. We all have issues. We all have trauma. We all have a past. But it doesn't mean that we have to drag it along with us and, you know, drag it along with us and destroy something good. And they do that. And that's such a shame. That's such a shame. And even you'll have jealousy in families where the sister will come out and try and the mother, the ex-girlfriend, everybody will battle together to stop you from being with this wonderful woman who's good for you, that has helped you grow and develop in ways you never did before, and they'll encourage you to stay in the same place that you're in because they just don't want you to grow. They don't want you to develop. And I've seen this before. And with my own children, I always encourage them. I always, both of my children, not to talk about their personal lives, but both of my children are with, let's say, black partners. And I'm very proud, very proud of them. Very, very proud. And so it's important that we have this. And there's nothing more, I think, self-debasing than when we mistreat each other. This is wrong. Mistreating each other is wrong. And when I talked about my relationship, it's not to debase anybody or to debase my relationship. I'm just talking facts, okay? I'm just talking facts because I still have, high regard and I hold people still in high honor. I just don't like their behavior, okay? And these behaviors have to stop because we have to stop damaging each other in our communities, stop damaging each other in our relationships, stop damaging each other at work, stop damaging each other, at university, stop damaging each other. We always keep bringing each other down. We're like crabs in a barrel. And it has to stop. Michael said, address you. He loves you. Who's strength and queen. Thank you so much. And Pan-African, how are you? 2100. Are you all right? You can call me Nyancho. If you don't know how to spell Nyancho, it's Nyancho. Nyancho. Ny, and it means warrior. And I love the name because it befits me. So listen, 25% off the land. Okay. I'm not telling you the price, because it's really, really low. And it's in a place called Aneto Sion, which is not far, very close to Bussorah, okay, Combo Central, Gambia, okay. I honestly think a lot of people, male and female, have a fear of missing out when dating, and they can't stand still in their relationship. And usually when they figure out there's nothing, that's very true. In fact, I could tell you a number of stories of people who felt that they didn't want to settle down, they weren't ready to have a commitment, and then they walked into a really bad situationship with someone that was like a demon, on legs. You understand? A demon on legs, and I mean it. They walked out, they went into a situationship, and the woman turned out to be a habitual, pathological, I don't even know what to say, just, and everything she said was a lie. Everything that came out of, I could tell you about a friend of mine, and I felt so sorry for him. He got, listen, let me tell you about seduction and also not being able to resist temptation. Resisting temptation is very, very, very important. Being able to say no, being able to stay faithful and loyal is very, very important. So this man had a wonderful woman, a really good woman. Him and the woman got on most of the time. They were great. Anyway, another woman saw their relationship and was jealous and made a beeline for this man, okay? Made a beeline for this man and did everything to get into his energy, to get into his space, to text, to start, a secret friendship, because that's how it starts. It starts as a secret friendship, just texting, talking. And then once he engages in that, he falls into the trap, because he falls into the trap of deception and lies. Okay, so because he's not gonna tell his significant other that he is texting and talking to this other woman. Women generally pick up because your attention seems to go in another direction. So women tend to know anyway, regardless of whether you think that you're being clever. Women tend to notice that you'll put your phone on silent or vibrate Women tend to know that you'll keep your phone upside down. Oh, no, 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 cancel. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Right? Women tend to know that you'll covet your phone more, you'll be private, you might change the PIN, or you'll start using a thumb ID or retina ID. Women will notice that you're wearing more cologne. Women will notice that you're buying some new clothes. Women will notice that you're making excuses to go out more with friends. Women will notice that you say that you're going to the gym more. Women will notice that you say you're going out for a drink or socializing with friends. She'll notice your patterns changing. Yeah. And also men with women, it's the same that applies. He will notice that your attention is waning, that you're not paying him any mind anymore, that you're not interested anymore. You're not as interested. So when people think that they're doing this, they think they're getting away with it, but they're actually not. You notice the little secret, conversations, silent conversations, the random walks that they go on. All of a sudden, they need to go for a walk. Before, when you was with them, they weren't going out for these walks, but now they want to go on walks because they want to get away from the house to use the phone. So women generally know these patterns. These are patterns of deceivers. These are patterns of cheaters. These are patterns of liars. And why? Because of temptation. And when you fall to the temptation, and then when you do get what we call the cat, yeah, and it's not exactly what you thought it was going to be, the temptation was better than the actual thing, and actually it was better at home. By then, you've already put yourself in a terrible situation, particularly if you haven't protected yourself. And so this is what happens, and then it kills the relationship. And what for? Because what happens is that tends to then the attention tends to wane. Once you've had what you've had, the excitement tends to wane, the intensity tends to go away, and then you wondered, why did you do all of that for? And then generally the women that do that are temptresses, let's call them Jezebels, they generally have you and another person anyway. And they usually have you because they're trying to make their boyfriend jealous, or their ex-boyfriend jealous, who they're clambering for. So they weren't interested in you in the first place. That's why they're tempting you away from your partner, because they have another partner. And this is the reality. And a lot of men are just waking up to the fact, and women are just waking up to the fact. But this is what happens. Women entice even for the small things, money especially. Money especially. A lot of women, right? I'm going to be honest with you. So men, you think you're all that, right? You think you're all that. A lot of women are only with you for what they think they can get from you. Okay, I'm not that type of person. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not that type. I have myself. I have my own. Do you see what I mean? I have a Range Rover outside. I don't need your car. I have a lovely home. I don't need your house. I have my own money. I don't need your money. But there's a lot of women out there, unfortunately, that are just looking to improve their situation. And it's not love, but they will feign love. They will love bomb you. And when I say love bomb you, if you don't know what love bombing is, let me just give you an education. This is both for the women and this is for the divine masculines and for the divine feminines, just so that you can avoid it in the future. They will love bomb you. They will act like they are the perfect partner. They will compliment you in every which way. They will call you night and day. They will do everything in order to get what they want, okay, until they finesse you. Okay, until they finesse you. Once they can't get what they want out of you, they're gone, because they already had someone else. Okay, they will tell you that you smell the best. They will tell you that you look the best. They will tell you that you're the best lover that they've ever had. They will tell you that your hair is the best. They will tell you everything. They will love bomb you, and it will not be genuine. It will not be from a genuine place. And then what you'll see is that this lovely calmness that they had, turns into conflict when they're trying to get away. It turns into chaos. Then you'll start to see all of the lies. All of the lies will start to come to the surface one by one. And then you'll see their mask drop. You'll see the aggression. You'll see, the ignorance. You'll see the attention starts to slow, the telephone calls start to slow, the texts go from long conversations to one line answers. Listen, I am telling you, okay, I am telling you. Bingo, that happened to me. Who said that? Pan African 21,000. That happened to you? Yeah. It's the worst as well when there's children involved. And yeah, the relationship is destroyed. Absolutely. Because these kinds of people don't look back on their children. I know because I'm living it myself. Okay, they don't even look back on their children. It's almost like when the relationship ends, they forget about the children. And if the woman is pregnant, they leave them pregnant. They don't even look back to see if you had the baby. They don't look back to see if you miscarried. They don't look back to see, if the baby was born normal. They don't look back. The children, the grown, they don't even look back to see how the child's doing in school. They don't even go back to pay a penny. Okay, so just be careful of these type of people. And it's women and men, because women they do leave their children as well. Some women do, okay? And some women are bad mothers as well. They might have their children, but they neglect them. You understand? And then their children end up going in care or going to live with grandparents, what have you, okay? But they'll take it and they won't make it because karma, let me tell you about karma. People don't think karma exists. It does, okay? What goes around comes around. It really does. And people suffer because of it, especially people that intentionally take and steal, and they do it on purpose. They intentionally go out to mislead you. They intentionally go out to, go in and destroy your family. Some women, they target married men intentionally to destroy the family, to take the man, just because they want what the man has. And sometimes they make the mistake because sometimes it wasn't the man who had the money, it was the woman. So they don't inherit a great amount because it was the woman that was the main breadwinner in the family. And the man was actually bad with money. So if he does have money, it's not going to last for very long because it was the woman that was managing the finances that, made it look that showed that abundance, that showed that prosperity, that showed, that the family was good and that they were living well. And so they fake it. Exactly. They fake it. And then by the time these men realize it's a fake, they've already caused too much substantial damage to the relationship because they've deceived, they've lied. And what happens is when a man has got a new woman, you always see that he starts to disrespect the woman that he has. And if a woman is going outside of the relationship or outside of the marriage, you will see that she starts to disrespect as well the man that she has. Yeah, it starts with comments, it starts with aggression, and then she'll start saying things to put you down because someone else is putting her up, okay? Because another man is putting her up. That's why she's doing that. She'll come home smelling fresh because she's done what she's done and showered outside and come back inside. She'll start to shy away from a physical contact with you. And sometimes a woman will shy away. Also, if she's in a relationship with a man who's cheating, she won't want to sleep with him because she feels and senses the energy of another woman around him and the essence of her. Even if she can't smell, she senses it. It's an energy that another woman brings. So when another man sleeps with, even when you are doing the deed, it changes because each body that you sleep with, you change how you do it. And so she'll know that you're sleeping with someone else because the way in which you're doing it has changed. Or you'll introduce new techniques that you never had from before. So who you learn these new tricks from? You understand? We know, so you ain't reading the Kama Sutra. Right? So you know what I'm saying? And so these things, they happen. You understand what I'm saying? These things, they happen. But we have to heal from them. We have to heal from the trauma of them so we don't carry, that sadness into another year, into 2026. Okay, so we can wear our hearts whole, and we can wear our self-dignity, our self-love, our self-respect, And that's so important. So that's why Black love is at the foundation, right? Because self-love is at the foundation of everything. Okay. Before I came to Gambia, I already knew that I had relationship problems. I already knew that I had them because in 2016, I unfortunately had a miscarriage and I lost a child, which devastated me. Okay, I called her Jeanne, a little girl, and it devastated me. And how a man reacts to you when you're going through devastation tells you a lot about that man. And so for me, I had a lot of signs that I just didn't understand. And these things tend to weaken your relationship as well, especially if you don't get counseling. And so I do suggest, that when you have traumatic events in your relationship, that you get counseling. It's very important, but get the right counselor. I went to a counselor, marriage counselor, when I was separated with my ex-husband. Now, I went to a marriage counselor and it was the worst marriage counselor I could ever have gone to. He was a pastor, I think, and he said to me during the counseling session, I won't allow my wife to have children because I don't want to have children. And I realized the counselor's a narcissist. What am I doing here? Like, oh my gosh, I just wanted to run. The things that he was saying, like he was saying, I would never let my wife go to Guinea-Bissau or whatever with, four men and another woman. I would never let my wife do this. I would never let my wife do. And I was thinking, does he not know I'm separated? This man is out here dating, doing whatever. He's not telling him nothing. I'm not doing anything. But anyway, that's a long story. But basically, what I'm saying is basically we need to get it together because they're destroying the foundation, and the foundation is the relationships, okay? And that is family relationships. But because that relationship broke down doesn't mean that you have to. And listen, all of these men that I see on these terrible programs, and some of them, like, I just make me absolutely throw up. Like, I can't stand it. But some programs out there just are so negative against women with children, and I just think that's so wrong. That's so wrong, because who do you think made these children? Is not men? And it's just ridiculous, just absolutely ridiculous. We have to stop doing that. And so some people can't take pressure. The men that are for always are the breadwinners. Absolutely. Listen, because you know what? They say, a good man always knows how to provide. Yeah, a bad man knows how to take and not give back. If you're not with a good man, if you're with a bad man, there's no reciprocation. Because he's only interested in what he can get out of the relationship. He's not interested in giving back to you. He's only interested in taking until he can't take anymore. And then when there's a big grab, say it's a property sale or whatever, he'll disappear with the money. I experienced it firsthand. Okay? And yes, some people can't take pressure. But the point of the matter is that you learn coping mechanisms if you love someone. You learn to cope together. You learn to grow up. You learn to develop. You understand that. So what? She can take the pressure by herself? How is that fair? How is that fair? It's not fair. So Pan-Africanism said the foundation in West is already destroyed. In Africa, sadly, it's slowly decaying. And so this is the thing, is that we have to rebuild. We have to rebuild from the bottom upwards. We have to rebuild from scratch. And BlaXit, yes. BlaXit, excuse me, sorry. BlaXit, yes, it's because of the tea. Let me just drink this. Yes, BlaXit is about, leaving the West for the best. Right? Yes, BlaXit is about relocation, repatriation. Yes, it is. But BlaXit is also about building our nation. BlaXit is also about our unification. And our unification has to start at the foundation. And the foundation is, man, woman, and child, or man and woman first and then child. Yeah. And for me, to me, if we go back to basics and we say, okay, no sex before marriage, so be it. We're going to have to go back to those respect days so that people stop, going out there using and abusing their bodies. To stop the STDs, to stop the AIDS, because they're going to bring out, they're planning to bring out some kind of a super STD that's worse than AIDS. They've been working on the laboratory for years because they know black people love sex. So we, and this STD is going to be dangerous. So we have to, HIV didn't do quite the job they expected. So that, they're upping it. So we have to start to, move vigilantly. We have to go back to basics. We have to go back to basics. And that means protecting your energy at all costs. At all costs. I will tell you about an embarrassing situation that I experienced, okay? Not today, because it's quite funny. It's quite fresh. And I witnessed it myself. I saw it with my own eyes. But I will tell you about it. But, we have to learn to grow and develop. And I think a lot of us have not had proper relationship training, unity training, and self-love. And some of us have trauma. Some of us have sexual abuse as children. Some of us, and things that we haven't gotten over. Okay? Some of us have had violence. Some of us, have been cheated on, by a serial cheater. And not known, because these people don't say, oh, hi, I'm a cheater, I'm going to cheat on you. Ah, nice to meet you. Yeah, I got like 4 STDs and I got HIV. They don't do that. Okay? So, you have to be discerning. Okay? You have to be discerning. So this brings us right back to tradition. Exactly. So, sometimes, like I said, we have to, some African traditions to me are wonderful traditions, okay? And the reason why is because they preserve life. The West, let them go with their promiscuity. Let's go back to basics. I think that's important. So with that, oh, right, 2 other questions. Sorry, listen to me. She done it again. Okay, so I answered one question, which was the question about last week's show, about what I was saying about the revolution and the points. So I've covered those. The second question was about visas. So if you're coming from America, yes, you can buy a visa at the airport. If you're coming from the UK, you do not require one. And certain countries in the Caribbean, you do not require one. Jamaica, you do not require one. This is for Gambia, specifically speaking. Someone asked me, but if you're coming from the US, yes, you do. Okay. Now the charges, I'm not sure if the charges have gone up. It was like, I think, 3,500, okay, Delassies. I'm not sure what that is in dollars. That's how much it used to be anyway, and you could buy that on entry. I don't know if that's changed, but there is also a new airport tax, which I think is $20 on entry and $20 on exit, which has been introduced here. It's been introduced by many other airports as well. In addition to that, yes, you can get residency after 90 days. Okay, 90 days of being here, you can apply for residency, and it is very simple and it is very easy. And once you've got your TIN number and you have your ID, okay, you can go to one of the locations that do it. And I can give you a list of them next week. I can do that research. And yes, also the question was, are there Black-owned hotels and hotel groups here? Yes, there are. There are a few. And in fact, that's what I forgot to do. I forgot to list all of the Black hotel groups that are here for you to stay in. I will do that for next week, okay? For all of you coming here, I will have a list of the Black hotel groups or the Black hotels. I do have a lot in my mind that I already know off the top of my brain. Cocoa Oceans, Gambian owned. Sun, what's that one again, Kath? Sun Prime is Gambian owned. Um, Tranquil, which is in Brussels, is in Tranquil and Brussels. Tranquil Star is diasporan owned. Um, there's quite a few actually, even ones that I've had on the channel. I will go back and check. I think I did Micah Apartments is owned by diasporans and Gambian owned. And that's in a lovely location as well. I've got new apartments from Mr. Mbeki, so I will be posting them. His apartments are still available. So if you do want to go to a luxury apartment, his apartments are still available. And in fact, he's building some ones right by the sea in Bigelow, which I'm going to put on the channel for you to see. Okay. We filmed them last week, so I will be sharing them with you. So there are quite a lot. Just if you are looking for somewhere to stay in those areas, then we will search and find the guest houses or the hotels or the apartments. I also put on the channel the other apartment building. I think there was 8 apartments in there, and that was done by Alfred, I think. Yeah, so I can give you his details so you can book through him. Okay, so if you're looking for a self-contained apartment, 1 or 2 bedroom. So I think those are the questions I was asked. One was about accommodation from what I can remember, and the other one was about residency and visas. So happy Sunday to you, Wendy. How are you? How are you, my love? Yeah, thank you for joining. You're always my A1 day one. I love you so much. Thank you. And when I say I love you so much, let me just gratify, because someone asked me if I was the other way. No, I am not. I certainly am not. I'm not a sexual deviant. When I say I love you, I mean, like I would say to Ja, I love you, okay? I would say to all of you, I love you, because the essence of love is the essence of love. It's not something that I think we should shy away from, okay? Pan-African, I love you. I love you all on here, okay? This is BlaXit family, and family should love each other. Don't you think? Yeah? We asked, who asked that nonsense? Sorry, they did. Yeah, someone asked if I was trans or lesbian or whatever. And I mean, no. Do you know, I love black men, African men. I love you, okay? I will make it plain to you today. I love black African men, okay? I really do. And I tell you what, when one of the people I've got to talk about quickly is Dynast Amir. One of the men that I used to admire, I'm not going to, when I say I love Dynast, okay? But I love Dynast in a way in which I really admire what he did, coming back and forth in Search for Uhuru, because he really used to inspire me as well. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but Dynast Amir, oh my goodness. I used to sit and watch him, right, in his Search for Uhuru, and we were supposed to do a tour together, but it didn't happen during COVID, which was a real shame, because I really wanted, and we love you too. I love you too, Derek, I really do, okay? I love you all too. And I really wanted to do the tour with Dynast, and I'm hoping one day maybe we'll do something where I'll go on one of his tours and cover it on BlaXit, because I really still would love to work with him. I have a lot of admiration for Dynast as well. Dynast is great. He's been a great trailblazer. Also, Woda Maya. And in fact, what's weird is that both of them stayed at my house when I was living in Kaloli. Both Woda Maya and also Dynast Amir. And look at them now. How amazing. How amazing is that? I feel quite ingratiated for the fact that I had, people that have now grown to be such giants in their field. So, and in the world even. So I've been very fortunate to have touched many I've been able to meet so many wonderful people, so many fantastic people, so many inspirational people in my life. Yeah. My husband expressed he loves you too at the same time. Okay, so thank you, hon. Oh, I love you both, you and your husband. Okay, so some people are challenged. We need to learn how to show each other love and support. Oh, totally, Wendy. Totally. You know, I love you and your husband and your whole family. Okay. I love you all. We need love. We really need love. We got way too much hatred, way too much bad mind, way too much negativity in our community, and they whipped that into us. You know, during slavery, they made sure that they separated husbands and wives. They made sure that they separated children. That's all they've been doing is dividing and separating us. Okay, and creating. Can I have some more thumbs up, please, peeps? Yeah. So listen. I'm going to love you and leave you. I've answered your questions, and we've had a really lovely talk this week, which has been really, really warm. I did have Dim's versus that I was going to go more into, but as you know, I was going to talk about the root of the church and its role in slavery, so you understood the role of the church. So, you know, at this season, you remember the role of the church, okay? I just wanted you to remember that, okay? Yeah, we are still falling for it, Nyencho Warrior. Thank you so much. So I love you all. Remember that we are one people, okay? One unity, okay? One destiny and one love. And remember, Africa is the future. Don't let anyone tell you any different. And if you want to get these pieces of land, okay, I'm giving a 25% discount, okay, on land in the Neto Sion. So if you are interested, grab it as part of this land sale. I wanted to offer you some more pieces as well in some other locations. Just hold on for me, because I am at the moment going through all the due diligence with my lawyer so that I can get more reparations land for you. But I will still be sharing opportunities there with you. And also, if you are looking to grade your land, clear your land, move your land, I will be telling you about a company called Remedy that is going to be offering reasonable hire services for their massive construction caterpillar vehicles that you can use to clear your land if you've got land here already. So more love, more light to you as well. And thank you all for joining. I love you, and I will see you next week, Sunday, same place, same time. Thank you.